are suing Mr. Tobias Armand. You said he's your ex-boyfriend. You're suing him for a flight ticket and damages to your vehicle caused by an accident.
You didn't say nothing about loan.
But I did say I will spot you. And last time I checked, spot means spot. Spot don't mean I'm giving this to you.
The traffic came to a complete stop. Before I can even respond, I went straight into this Toyota Prius. I'm sorry that it happened, but it was not my fault.
Okay, and how many drinks did you have that day?
No ma'am, no ham, no turkey.
For the first time, we're bringing justice to you. Your location is the courtroom, and the truth has nowhere to hide.
That tells me all I need to know. I understand you don't like each other. I don't care.
Judge Faith, a former criminal prosecutor, legal analyst, and now creator of the first courtroom where justice has no walls, filters, or boundaries. Only truth. Virtual Justice with Judge Faith.
Hey there, it's your favorite judge. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join the fastest growing court community on YouTube. Remember, virtual justice doesn't happen without you. So go ahead, subscribe, or risk being held in contempt. Miss LaShonda Knight,
Yes, Your Honor.
you were suing Mr. Tobias Armand
Correct.
Yes, Your Honor.
for $1,248.18. You say he owes you. You said he's your ex-boyfriend. You're suing him for a flight ticket and damages to your vehicle caused by an accident when he was driving your car. You, sir, are saying you do not owe the plaintiff because the flight was a gift and the accident was an act of God. And I will let you explain when I hear about the case. So I'll start with you, Ms. Knight. Tell me about your relationship with Mr. Armand and how the two of you met.
Okay, I was in Atlanta visiting with family and doing some handling some family business. I was at a gas station. I don't recall the name of the gas station, but I was at a gas station and I was just getting ready to take the pump out of its holder. I don't know what to call it, but I was grabbing the pump, and as I was grabbing the pump, I hear this deep voice, hey, sexy lady, you want me to pump your gas for you? And I turned around real fast. I'm from LA. I wasn't clear like how people roll in Atlanta. Okay, so he walking up on me with this voice that's rumbling the ground. I almost sprayed him with my with the gas. Because I'm like, wait a minute, oh, hey, sexy lady. Like, you don't just walk up on nobody like that. But I just turned around like, what? He's like, no, I just want to see if you want me to help you, whatever. And I was like, oh, well, that's nice. And I let him pump the gas, and I just kind of stepped away. He pumped the gas. He did all that nicely. And then we kind of started talking a little bit, and he wanted to exchange numbers, but I wasn't comfortable with that. So I said, let's just do Instagram. Like, let me give you my Instagram or whatever. And we did that. We communicated on Instagram a couple of times, and then I was like, oh, he's nice. He was nice and, chivalrous and complimentary and all that. He's like very, he's that guy, right? And we started to talk. We spent a lot of time together over that course of that 2 weeks.
Okay, that you were in Atlanta. So let me ask you, Mr. Armand, is that how things happen? Was that your approach to Miss Knight when you saw her, and what made you approach her?
I'm gonna be honest. We stopped at a QT. I seen her getting some gas, and I'm not gonna lie. She caught my attention. She was
Cause she
a
a
breath
cute
of fresh
kid.
air.
Go on,
She
tell
was
the
a breath
truth.
of fresh. Can I speak? She was a
Please.
breath of fresh air. So I said, you know what? I said, let me, shoot my shot. So I spoke and I asked her if she needed any help, and I offered to pay her gas. I wanted to exchange numbers. She didn't feel comfortable. I respected that. I was raised to be a gentleman. I was like, okay, well, is there social media, something like that we can get a chance to get to know each other better? She said, fine. And there was no hesitation whatsoever. So she's trying to paint a picture to you now because she's in her feelings, but she was very anxious
Whoa.
to share that information.
Okay.
I was
So
anxious to. Woo,
So
you
we
gonna you
we
gonna
we
you gonna
exchange
need you gonna need to
information.
watch your choice of words today, bro.
Miss
Okay, you
That's
Miss
would
what you're
not
gonna
be
Knight,
have
able
to
to.
do.
Miss
Yes,
Knight and
ma'am.
Mr.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm
Armand,
sorry.
I would like to hear
You
their
would not be able to tell
respective
from.
positions, sir.
You would not be able to tell from today, but we did have a very cohesive, relationship, getting to know each other, things like that. Within 2 weeks time frame, I know that's a short period of time, but the energy was there.
Okay.
Sometimes you just know. So within that
Okay.
2 week time frame, we were tight.
Okay.
So it was one of the things that we felt the chemistry, but at the same time, we had to have the reality of we're on two different coasts,
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily against long distance, but there
Yeah.
had to be some type of definitive time. Are you going to relocate? Am I? And at that time, we were not in that place, because I did explain to Miss Knight that I had just
Miss
relocated.
Knight. Okay.
Yeah, you Miss Knight today.
Whatever.
So while relocated, I got laid off. But I
Mm.
did tell her that I had found a new job, but it was going to be some time before I started, and they were going to be getting a sign-on bonus. So I wanted to kind of just, not do too much as in
Mhm.
traveling, but I would love to continue the communication and go from there. So we stayed tight. I mean, this is 8 years, eight
Mhm.
years, and we always seem to come back and find each other.
So you've been back and forth for a while, and and you never relocated. You stayed
No.
down south, and you stayed in California, which, from
Yes.
what I understand, that was one of the issues. You all simply lived on different coasts, so you never had that real bond that you had the 2 weeks that you were together in Atlanta. And you submitted some photos of the two of you in happier times. I will take a look at that now. So now, but here we are. We're in this lawsuit. I can tell there's a lot of tension between the two of you, because
Absolutely.
you say, Miss Knight, that he now owes you $1,245. So the first thing you're suing him for is for a flight. Why?
I'm suing him for a flight because, as he stated, he had to relocate and do some things, and there was a little bit of a financial difficulty, a little break. He's a very responsible guy. He's always been a man of his word. I didn't have no reason to believe that I couldn't help him out. I said, "You sound stressed." I mean, I am stressed. I need a vacation. I need to get away. I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. Why not come out this way? I can spot you for the ticket." And then when you get back on your feet, you can just give it back whenever you can. I didn't give
So
him
is,
no
is it
time
help
when
or
he had to
spot?
give it
Because you
back.
said help.
I didn't give you a time when you had to give it back, but I did say I will spot you. And last time I checked, spot means spot. Spot don't mean I'm giving this to you.
You didn't say nothing about loan. You knew my situation.
What
You
did
was
I say?
pressed. You was pressed for me to
What
come
did
to
I
the
say?
West Coast, and you
Tell me
said
what
that
I
you.
said.
Hold
Tell me what
on,
I said
Miss
specifically.
Knight. Miss Knight.
Yes,
Hold
ma'am.
on.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Mr. Armand, what language do you say she used? You said she used the word help?
She clearly said, "I will help you," because I told her, I said, we can wait until whenever my funds get reallocated and I'm back in a place where I feel comfortable, where I can make sure that I can travel out to you. She said, "Hey, I just came into some money. I can help you." And she just said a few moments ago, "I can help you by coming out and visiting me out in LA." I said, "You know what? It would be good for us to be able to spend some time. Show me some of your spots."
Okay, because this was a trip that she invited you in. According to you, she said, "I'll help you
She was
come."
pressed for me to come, and she said, "Well,
Wow.
no, let me go ahead and I will pay for it out of my pocket." I said,
No,
"Okay,
ma'am.
fine."
No,
She said
ma'am.
it was
No
a
ham, no
situation to
turkey.
where I'm
No,
speaking.
ma'am. No
I'm
ham,
speaking.
no turkey.
She said
No,
that I
sir.
can be able to get a
No,
chance to
sir.
meet her family and her daughter, and I was like, "Okay, that'll be
I
nice."
decided to help you. I said, I can spot you. I got you. Don't be stressed. Just come out here, relax for about a week or so. That's what I told you.
You're not fooling anybody with the waterworks. Now, because of the fact that we're not together, you're in your feelings and you're coming off, you're spitting all this venom on court today. I shouldn't even be here.
You should be here. You'll find out, Your Honor. You'll find out. He should definitely be here.
Let me get to the next part of the case. The next part of your case is you're suing $1,000 for the insurance deductible for a car accident you say he had in your car on during this trip to LA. What happened,
Yes.
Miss Knight?
He calls me on the phone and says, "We just got in a car accident." I was like, "A car accident? Where?" And I said, "You driving this car?" He was like, "No, I'm driving your car." What?
If I had known I was getting a death trap, I wouldn't have drove it.
That's where your witness comes in. And you said you have that witness here with you in court today.
I'm welcome to be here. Thank you.
What were you guys doing? What happened, Miss Knight?
Yes, ma'am. He got here, let's say on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I planned a barbecue on that Saturday for him to meet in person the people that he's been seeing on FaceTime, like my mom, my dad, my daughter, my cousins, people that he know by first name. He know them when he see them. Like, it's not like he can't pick them out of 2-man lineup. Like, he know them because he's seen them, he's talked to them. It's been 8 years of us having this friendship. And he came once before, and most of them didn't get to see him when he was here that time. So I was like, let me put something together where everybody's together at the same time, and then we'll be able to all hang out. Okay, cool. That's what we're doing. Saturday comes, everything's fine. Everything was fine up until the barbecue. We kicking it in the barbecue, and we're all talking. One point, my dad asked for something to drink. I go in the house to go get something to drink, and I'm like, hey, Tobias. And I'm looking around like, where you at? And I'm hollering, hey, Tobias, I'm in the room, I'm knocking on the bathroom door, like, where you at? Where you at? I can't find him. So I call him on the phone. He answers the phone. I said, hey, where you at? He said, oh, I ran out. Ryu came by. I ran out. We right around the corner to go meet one of his friends.
That is not what
And I
happened.
said, so you just left? You just left the house? He's like, well, I'm going to be right back. It's be like 15, 20 minutes because Ryu coming in. I said, I didn't invite Ryu over here. This was for me and you and you know, my family and my friends and stuff. I didn't invite him. You didn't ask me could he come by or nothing. He was like, man, you tripping, whatever. He kind of hung up the phone. So I didn't want my family to know that there was issues. So I just kind of, you know, did one of those, like, just, you know, blow it off. And I'm sitting around. After about 45 minutes and he ain't came back outside, people like, where's Tobias? I was like, oh, he just he ran to the store. You know what I'm saying? I should have just told the truth, but I didn't. He ran to the store. Oh, okay. We still hanging out. My family loves to sing. We doing karaoke. We hanging. Your
Where were
Honor,
you?
2 hours passed by.
Wow.
2 hours.
2 hours.
He calls me on the phone and says, listen, I know I'm supposed to be back, you know, and he was calm and all that. But we just got in a car accident. I was like, a car accident? Where? Where are you at? He's like, oh, I'm not sure about this street. Wait, I'm gonna figure it out. You know, I'll tell you where it is. I said, well, what happened? Tell me what happened. He was like, well, me and Ryu, blah blah blah. I said, is the car totaled? Is he okay? How is he doing? Did he crash his car? He's driving? No, I'm driving. I said, you driving his car? He was like, no, I'm driving your car. What?
Wow.
What you mean you driving my car?
So hold
I
on a
just took
second.
your car around the corner.
Hold on a second. Mr. Armand, what happened? Where'd you go? And how did you end up getting in an accident in her car?
You know, she's you can tell she's really took time to try to rehearse. Like she said, she wanted to be a situation for her friends, her family to come by. I don't know a lot of people in LA, but I do have a few friends. And my best friend Ryu, he lives in LA. He lives in your city.
Mm-hmm.
He lives there. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? Let me invite him. You're inviting your family and friends. I'm already not going to know anybody there. How am I have to ask permission to invite one of my friends over when you have about 100 people over for a barbecue?
Okay,
And
but
then the whole thing
Mr.
about
Armand, Mr. Armand. Okay, but you left for 2 hours. You invited him. I understand that was an issue. Where were you for 2 hours that day, and why didn't you tell her you were leaving?
I told her, we call her Nisi. I told her, I said, Nisi, I'm going to go around the corner. I'm gonna go around the corner and I will be back. That was my intention because I know that Ryu said he wanted me to ride with them. I said, okay, we'll be back. We'll ride around the corner. And if it was a situation that I didn't get permission, as she says, to drive her car, how could someone be gone with your car? Would you have somebody have your car for 2 hours and you have no
What I
idea
want to
that they
know.
have your vehicle? I don't care how many people that you have at a barbecue.
You're saying she knew you took her car?
She knew that I took her car.
But you said you were going around the corner. That, to me,
Right.
in my mind, is like a 5-minute drive. So what happened the other hour plus that you were gone? You were not around the corner, I'm assuming.
I'm going on my buddy Ryu. He said he wanted to go around the corner because of the fact that he wanted to go to this liquor store that he said that he wanted to go to.
Okay.
So I was
I'm
like,
gonna
okay,
ask
we'll go ahead
again.
and go. I don't know the area like that.
Where were you for 2 hours? Were you at this liquor store, hanging out at a liquor store for 2 hours?
We went to the liquor store, ran into some people that he knew, and the time kind of went by. I said, hey, we should go ahead and get back to the barbecue. So we're driving. Now, mind you, the condition of the vehicle is atrocious. When you
Really?
look on the dashboard, every single light is lit up like a Christmas tree.
Then why did
It's
you say
yellow,
it?
blue, green, purple. It's flashing. The brakes is metal on metal.
But you
Why
still
you
got in your
driving
car to
then?
So,
drive. Excuse
I
me,
mean,
Miss
I,
Knight.
I, I wouldn't even think that.
I don't need your
She
help.
told me she was getting the brakes done. I didn't realize that they were that bad.
But you still
I didn't
drove the
realize
car
they
for
were
2
bad. If I had known I
hours?
was getting a death trap, I wouldn't have drove it.
A death trap. But you still drove it for 2 hours?
Jesus, Jesus.
I'm lucky that that there wasn't any fatalities, and I'm here today.
Mm,
So
mm, mm, mm.
I'm
Not
driving
no.
the vehicle
He lucky
probably
it
around
wasn't.
like
He wasn't a
about 8
fatality.
p.m.
He lucky
About
he
8
wasn't a
p.m. It's
fatality.
still my
That's what he's
turn.
trying to say.
I'm still speaking.
Miss
I'm still
Knight?
speaking. So we're driving, and the ground is wet. There had been raining like a light drizzle. The ground is wet.
Wait a
I got
minute,
the
wait a minute, wait a
GPS.
minute,
I
wait
don't
a
know
minute.
the
May I,
area
Your
like
Honor,
that.
please, may I,
Hey,
Your
Miss
Honor.
Knight.
Now, it may be
No.
cold on the East Coast, but on the other side of town, you know the rest. It wouldn't rain in Southern California. Never worry. That's when. It don't rain here like that.
Look,
Okay,
It's
Miss
I'm not
Knight.
having
from
a
LA.
barbecue in the rain. We having a barbecue in the rain, bro.
Okay, Miss
That's what
Knight,
you
I would
trying
like to.
somebody believe that?
You were not at the scene of the accident, Miss Knight, so I want to hear what Mr.
He was
Armand
around
has
the
to
corner,
say
Your Honor, so he
about how it
said.
happened.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Armand, finish. Tell me how the accident happened so I can determine who's liable here. Go ahead, sir.
I'm driving. My phone falls. So it startles me initially. I said, so you know what? I'm gonna be a responsible driver. I'm keeping my eye on the road. The traffic came to a complete stop. Before I can even respond, I went straight into this Toyota Prius.
Mm.
I'm sorry that it happened, but it was not my fault.
Why?
The condition of her vehicle was atrocious, and also it was an act of God, Your Honor. I had no control over that, and I have a witness that my friend was in the car with me.
Let me see the lights you say that were lit up in the car. Let me see that photo. Okay, so there are some lights on in the car, and you said that there were some service issues, according to you, Mr. Armand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the maintenance light in the middle.
Okay, and you still felt comfortable enough to get in there and drive the car that day.
Uh-huh.
So there's that. Second, let me see the photo of the accident. You submitted a graphic to show me the intersection where the accident happened. Let me see that. Okay, so I see here, so it was a true rear end. And by nature, under the law, when you rear end someone, Mr. Armand, it's assumed that you're at fault because you're supposed to be able to be traveling at a safe enough distance. So if traffic does stop, you're able to stop in time before hitting someone as well. I understand you say there was issue with the brakes, but that's where your witness comes in. And you said you have that witness here with you in court today. He was with you in the car and that afternoon.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Mr.
Lord help
Ryu
me.
Rogers. Mr. Rogers, thank you so much for being here.
I'm welcome to be here. Thank you.
You've been listening to the case so far, correct?
Yes, correct.
You were in the car with Mr. Armand. You were with him that day for a couple of hours. What were you guys doing?
It rained real hard all of a sudden. Traffic stopped. He hit the brakes and he went sliding and he hit the minivan.
Okay, and how many drinks did you have that day?
I had 2 mini drinks and I was towed up to the floor up.
Okay.
This is laughable. I don't even know why you brought him here. That ain't making you look good at all. Dumb and dumber.
Well, Your Honor, let me start from the beginning.
I don't want you to start
Okay.
from the beginning. I want you to start at the 2 hours that I'm asking you about because we do not have all day, Mr. Rogers.
Well, Tobias, he brought me around the corner because I was excited to see him in Los Angeles. So, I didn't know anything about him and LaShawna's plans, but I had to show my boy around, because I was excited he's in LA. I had to show him around. You know what I'm saying? But, you know,
So, Mr.
but
Rogers, you go. This story is taking an interesting turn. Mr. Rogers, you go and you're in the car with him and you have you guys are in an accident. What happened? What did you observe?
It rained real hard all of a sudden. Traffic stopped. He hit the brakes and he went sliding and he hit the minivan.
And he said it was a Prius. You recall it being a minivan. I guess that doesn't matter, but there was an accident that day. You guys left the liquor store. Had you been drinking?
That's why Tobias was driving because I was drinking. I just wanted to show my boy a good time. That's all I wanted to do.
Okay,
I'm
and
a
how many drinks
responsible
did you
driver,
have that
y'all.
day?
Yes, he is, young. I had too many drinks, young. I was towed up to the floor up.
Okay. So you were
Probably
tore
throw
up,
up right now.
you were drunk, you had been drinking, but your memory about this accident not being his fault is crystal clear. That's what you're coming into court to tell me today?
Come on
Oh,
now.
it's crystal clear, Your Honor. The
Crystal clear
accident
about the
wasn't his
accident,
fault.
but you were also drunk. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Okay,
This
thank
is
you, Mr.
laughable.
Rogers. I
This
appreciate
is
you being here
laughable.
with
I don't
us.
even know why you brought him here. That ain't making you look good at all. Dumber
Thank
and
you.
dumber.
So I have good news and bad news about your witness, Mr. Armand. The good news is he came into court today and he said with no equivocation whatsoever, this accident was not your fault. You were not distracted. It was raining that day and you hit the car in front of you. The bad
Thank
news
you.
is he also came into court today and admitted he was sloppy drunk when all of this happened. So he doesn't have a lot of credibility in terms of his memory, but he's your friend and he came into court. So I don't know
But I
if
mean,
his
he
testimony
wasn't
holds that much
driving,
weight.
so
But he's your
wow.
witness. He's your witness. Let's take a look at the photos of the damage to the car now.
You see how dramatic she's being because it was not that bad, and it's just a car. Didn't even ask was I okay, anything.
Well, it's just a car, but
You
it's
should
her
really
car.
stop lying. You've been proven a liar today. You need to just stop.
Wow.
Just
And
stop.
you also submitted evidence of how much the flight cost, the $245.18. On the $245.18 for the flight, I'm not going to hold you accountable. I'm not convinced that that plane ticket was not a gift to you at the time. There's been a lot of
Thank
back
you.
and forth in your friendship and well, I don't know if you're going to be so quick to thank me when I finish with this case, but for the flight, I'm not convinced that she did not give you the money for the plane ticket to come out and hang out and have a good time with her and her family for the barbecue.
Yeah, she real quiet now.
The car
I'm quiet
accident,
because
however,
I should be right now.
listen. You guys got to stop. For the car accident, however, you've told me a number of things. You told me there were issues with the car, all the lights were on, that it was raining, it was an act of God because it never rains in Southern California, but it was raining on that day. It doesn't matter. You were behind the wheel of the car and you rear-ended another car. You are the person responsible as the driver. If you thought there was a safety issue with the car, you should not have been driving the car around for more than 2 hours. What you should have done was look
Come
at the
on,
lights
Jesus.
and say, you know what? This looks off. This doesn't look safe. I should not be driving this car with all these lights on, but that's not what you did. You decided to drive around the city for 2 hours.
Want more? Get weekly insights on the law, love, and real life sent straight to your inbox. Join my community at judgefaithjenkins.com. Subscribe to me on YouTube at Judge Faith Jenkins and follow me everywhere, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
So I don't credit your testimony that you thought there was a real issue with the brakes. You're going to drive in Los Angeles with an issue with brakes and risk your life? I don't think so. That's not an excuse for you not to pay. In addition, an act of God. The rain is an act of God. It rains every day somewhere in America. You think everyone who gets in a car accident when it rains, they're not responsible because of the storm, because of nature, because of God? That's not how an act of God defense works, sir. So for the $1,000 for the deductible, I'm going to hold you
You gotta be
accountable.
kidding me, Your Honor.
No, you can't
Excuse
get
me, do not speak to me that way in my courtroom. Now, you've had a back and forth with Miss Knight for 8 years. You will not go back and forth with me.
My apologies, Your Honor.
Now,
Wow.
my last statement is for you, Miss Knight. When a man is genuinely interested in you, he will find a way to see you and invest in you, not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. He told you he was not ready to come out because he was not in a financial position to do so, but you still offered. Flying a man out to see you, paying his way, covering his costs, that's not building a relationship. That's financing someone else's vacation. So my encouragement to you is this: wait. Wait until he shows you that he's willing to meet you where you are, literally, figuratively, and financially. Because when a man values you, he will invest in you and not drain you.
It didn't, but I understand.
The $1,000, that judgment is for you, Miss Knight, and I'm ordering you to pay it, sir. Good luck to both of you.
And back to God. Hallelujah, won't he do it?
You are so petty. Just petty.
Hallelujah, won't he do it? If you let him. Glory!
This is unbelievable.
Got on
This
here
is your
telling this
vehicle.
woman
Like, I'm
that
supposed to know what the
got on
condition
here
of your
telling
vehicle,
that
and I
woman.
gotta pay for it.
Got on here telling that woman all them lies like that.